great pleasure to introduce our extraordinary next graduate, my friend, Dr. Syed. Harris completed his medical school at the University of Vermont, Barnard College of Medicine. Next year, he will be doing a one-year sports medicine fellowship with the Henry Ford Health System in Detroit, Michigan, which I will remind you was his first ranked choice. And I'll also point out that Harris didn't even write that detail himself until later in the introduction, which is a testament to how his humility has grown. He certainly has no problem being his own height man. Today, I'll be Dr. Syed. In all seriousness, though, Harris has made a tremendously positive impact on our residency and in our fellow residents. He brings with him every day unique enthusiasm, a yearning to be able to genuinely connect with everyone, inspire connectedness in our community, and strong passion for healthy living. Nothing represents his passion for healthy living more than his commitment to dietary fiber and raising awareness about the importance of fiber in our diet. Many people have questioned his typical lunchtime snack of avocados and blueberries, but I know Harris enjoys being considered a passionate pioneer. I'm personally thankful that there was someone even more outgoing and friendly than Joe and me in our group. It was a privilege to watch him mature over the last 3 years as a doctor and as a person. We've seen him laugh, we've seen him cry, we've seen him teach, we've seen him learn. We've seen him post pictures of himself in every single buddy's workstation in the listening room. We still aren't sure what accomplishments he's most proud of. Winning an Excellence in Clinical Teaching Award, matching at the first ranked Sports Medicine Fellowship, or successfully getting more fiber in our weekly lunches. My guess is he's most proud that somebody will probably find a picture of him playing flag football in the resident workroom couch cushion in 2035. I know I speak for everyone when I say we're all very proud of what he has done here at the University of Iowa, and know he will make a special impact wherever it takes him in the future. I'm very excited to bring Harris up to the stage, even though I'm his hype man, because he would much rather us all listen to him speak about what's important to him on this special day. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Harris.
Jacob, that was so perfect. Thank you so much. I'm glad that my entity is being attached to avocados, and I hope I'm remembered for that. Just an update on the snack, I actually recently switched to avocados and beets instead of avocados and blueberries, so just take a look for the next few weeks while I'm here eating lunch. And actually after faculty pearls this week, Dr. Hanrahan pulled me to the side and was like, you know what, Harris? Every time I'm gonna eat an avocado, I'm gonna think about you. So I'm like, all right, yeah, they get me. Wow, this finishing residency in 3 weeks, was the hardest thing that I have ever done. It was physically taxing, mentally taxing, emotionally taxing, definitely financially taxing, but I'm excited for those paychecks coming in a few years. And the fact that it was so hard makes it that much sweeter. I remember in the summer of 2019, when I was sitting down, just having a pep talk with myself. I'm like, Harris in 2019, what is Harris at the end of residency going to want to have done and going to want to have accomplished? And it was 4 different categories that I'm happy to say that I all did. So, number 1 was become a sports medicine physician. Number 2 was become a better teacher. Number 3 was to continue to practice and develop as a leader. And number 4 was continue to be an athlete. So, number 1, being a sports medicine doctor. So I am not humbly, but I guess the opposite, like willing to brag, and really excited that I matched my #1 sports medicine fellowship. I interviewed at top programs throughout the country. I got to sit on the sidelines at the University of Alabama football game and be this close to both Nick Saban and Bryce Young, who was the first overall draft pick in the NFL. Go man. I got to tour the Iowa Hawkeye facilities, see Caitlin Clark practice up close. Got to see backseat of the football tours, and I got to have Dr. Markuson tell me that I was a rising star in sports medicine, which is a big deal for me. So, go me. But that could not have happened without my wonderful faculty and mentors who are primarily in this area. I will just use one story to highlight all of them, but when I was applying for the sports medicine fellowship and asking for recommendations, I asked Dr. Hanrahan to write me a recommendation, and just, in the Mama Hanrahan, the only way that she can, she's like, good, I want to meet with you, I want to hear your goals, I want to hear this, that, and I'm like, perfect, she listens to me, I send her my personal statement, and she follows up with me, and she's like, Harris, I know you, I know how special you are, I know what you're trying to get across. This is not doing that, this is not good enough. And truthfully, it was moments like that where the faculty here had the courage to tell me, Harris, we care about you, we want the best for you, but this is not the standard and we expect better. Moments like that, I just want to say thank you. I know everybody has experienced those moments with me, and I really appreciate it because without it, I couldn't have accomplished my goal as a physician. So for all the teachers here, thank you for having the courage to speak, expect more, and give that feedback. So thank you guys. Next, as a teacher, I am happy to say that in my second year, I was recognized for an Excellence in Clinical Teaching Award. I also got to lead our resident board reviews, which I got a lot of good feedback, where typically in the past it was kind of just an afterthought, but I would spend a lot of time going over board review questions with my colleagues. So I got to work and develop with that, and I'm really happy to see both Lauren Hall and Christina Papari right here, because you guys are two special interns in my heart, because I spent the most time, you guys being my juniors, and I'm really happy to know that you guys are already way better doctors than I ever was in my first year and second year, and I hope to think that I contributed to a little bit, just kind of teaching you and guiding you throughout the process. Next, as a leader, I was fortunate to get elected as our chief resident, and got to really be involved with the process of recruiting our next group of residents. So if it's a good class next year, you're welcome. If it's not, it was Ellie. And boy, leadership was a lot harder than I thought. I thought it was just a nice office and a name on the wall, but it was very challenging. I think I struggled through a lot of things, being told no. And that led to tears, led to arguments, and led to different conversations. But what really helped me get through those times were my classmates. First, although she's younger than me, I really felt like a big sister, Hannah. Hannah had so many special moments with you, but particularly in the first 6 months of my residency, moving here from a different state, not having my normal outlets, the fact that you kept letting me come to your house, we could talk about basketball, talk about comedy, you would hear my girl problems, you would hear me complain about work and so on. Just that time was really just a low time for me in my life, and you were really there for me, and I really appreciate it. Next, my wifey, Ellie, who we just finished taking an improv class together, and where we learned we're not that good at improv. But a very special moment that we shared together was after just a tough meeting that I had. Came into the chief office crying. You closed the door, you talked to me, you embraced me, and were really there for me as a friend in person. So that was super duper special to me. And we also got to share our love of pickled onions as the best condiment on top of avocado toast that we shared in Washington, D.C. So thank you, Ellie. Congratulations, Ellie. Next to Mama Tanya. Tanya, a special thing that I will always remember with you is during my birthdays or during holidays when people are always like, oh yeah, give candy, give treats. I always tell my classmates to get me Smart Water, and Tanya during the holidays and birthdays would always do that, and I was just like, she gets me, she listens to me, so that's something that I'll always remember, Tanya. Next to my boys, first my desk buddy Aaron, who we started in the same desk, and even though you're younger than me, I think you're kind of been an older brother to me. Two things that I always remember and cherish with you is number one is I remember when I started out and I was just writing things down on index cards, and I was like, oh, what did you learn today? What did you learn today? And you're like, the DON'T mnemonic, and that is the dextrose, oxygen, Narcan, as well as thiamine for individuals who come into the ED obtunded. And that's something that I'll always remember you giving me that information. Us going disc golfing together, I'd never gone until you did, and there's this Aaron Weaver pose that he does that when I talk to him and I'm about to complain, it's just the most receiving and just Harris, that sounds rough. And he always just puts me at ease and knows when I need that done. And it actually happened earlier this week, so Aaron, thank you so much for that. Last, our superhero, Dr. Sam Orvis, aka Dr. Orvis. One of my favorite members in residency was actually watching Tom Brady win his last Super Bowl, and that couldn't have happened without your Super Bowl party. The events that you hosted at your house were one of my top moments, especially one of the last ones where it was me, you, Ellie, and Hannah. And if somebody steals the clock that is in your house that I've seen from our Zoom socials, then I'm your top candidate for who stole it. So, Sam, you're the man. Last is as an athlete. When I would growing up, playing sports was something that was super important to me. I would come to family parties, and my uncles and older cousins would ask me, oh, hey, how's your football season going? What are you doing with your off-season workouts? I would tell them, and they would always say, you know what, I used to play sports that I liked, but then I got a job, or then I had kids, or then I did this, and that would scare me. I was like, wait, there's gonna be a time where I'm not gonna be able to play basketball or football? And I'm happy to say during residency, I had a few cool athletic accomplishments. Number one, I notched my first triple-double, scoring over 20 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists in a game. Hit a buzzer beater shot to send us into overtime in a playoff basketball game. Threw more than 5 touchdowns multiple times to the gentleman in that table right there. And then last, got to play football at Kinnick Stadium through that. And I could not have done that without the individuals, as they have so endearingly taken on the Harris Fitness Club. So shout out them. And specifically, just want to give a shout out to my best friend Ben, who 3 years ago, when I was working out at an outdoor basketball court, he came up to me and was just like, hey, I just moved here. I'm looking for some friends to play basketball. Do you want to exchange numbers? I'm like, sure. And that became probably over 100 workouts, 200 hours, and all of the 300 hours, and all the friends that are here with you guys, with you. And I have this wellness philosophy of happiness, kind of comes in three buckets. You always want something to do, someone to love you, and then something to look forward to. And you guys were always that something to look forward to for me. Whether that's morning shoot-arounds with you guys, running workouts in the summer, meeting in my house to watch tape to get ready for a flag football championship as working adults. That's pretty funny and interesting. So I could not have gotten it through something so difficult without you guys. You guys mean the world to me. Thank you. I love you. And Ellie, before I had gotten here, asked me, is your speech really going to take 10 minutes? And yes, it was. So thank you so much for your listening and time and patience. Congratulations to everyone. Joe and Jacob, you guys rock.
Technology burden.
And then just on behalf of me and Ellie, in regards to our work as chief residents, we have 2 words. You're welcome.